Hey guys, Ron here. So today I have some potentially life-changing news. Alright, maybe not life-changing, but nonetheless some really great stuff pointing to the location of Halo Infinite. Now, we have already known by the end of the engine demo, by the end of the announcement trailer, whatever you want to call it, that everything we've seen pretty much is happening on a Halo ring, right? And that would only make sense. It's been a long time since we visited a Halo ring. So this is super exciting because, yes, Halo rings have all kinds of diverse life and all kinds of alien plants and everything you can imagine. It's great. There's so much history already planted in this. And with what I'm about to say, this might actually point to the specific ring and also the history associated with the ring, right? So the walkie-talkie scene, let's go to this moment in the engine demo. Now this is super relevant and I can't believe I skipped it over in my 40-minute analysis of the Halo Infinite trailer yesterday during E3, which by the way you should still watch because it has tons and tons of information and I think it has like 3 or 4 moments of text, in the actual trailer that's just so easy to skip over. But the walkie-talkie stated in Morse code here, a SOS to Zeta Halo, aka Installation 07, was said in Morse code. Now that, I think, is pretty raw. It's pointing to the fact maybe that Halo Infinite, or what we have seen so far, is on Zeta Halo, Installation 07. So even though that this was an engine demo, a announcement trailer, nothing more than just, a demonstration of the game engine itself, I think that it's safe to say that plot elements were sprinkled into this. Now, it's really hard to know what's actually going to happen in this story. It didn't point to anything specific other than Master Chief's on a ring, perhaps Zeta Halo, and he put some chip into his head. Those are the facts, right? So plot elements were undoubtedly sprinkled into this engine demo, right? It would appear so. And that would point to this distress signal being pretty relevant, and considering that there is a crashed Pelican, a group of Marines with one injured, and also the fact that they're all on this ring, I think it's safe to say that Master Chief and the others have crash landed on Installation 07 in order to either stop Cortana, or perhaps to stop something completely new we just haven't even thought of yet. Now this ring, Zeta Halo, is actually a replacement ring to the original Installation 07 that was once 30,000 kilometers wide, but then was later replaced and reduced to 10,000 kilometers after most of its superstructure was removed after heavy damage. So if they are in fact on Installation 07, which I would say is incredibly likely at this point since the Easter egg suggested that they are, then this could mean a lot for Halo Infinite. In addition, at the end of Halo 5 Guardians, Cortana hums as the Halo ring comes into view, right? Remember the Halo 5 Legendary ending? That was it, baby. Maybe this was Installation 07, Zeta Halo. And as speculation had before, many believed, including myself, that this was potentially Installation 07. With Cortana humming and lighting up the ring, turning it on in a sense that seems to suggest that Cortana at some point in Halo Infinite will know about this ring and will be involved in the story, of course, because she's Cortana, alongside the exploration and the drama that will undoubtedly unfold in the next story. So I wonder what Cortana's role will be on Installation 07, right? So she lights up the ring, she hums like an evil psychopath at the end of Halo 5, and then basically the last thing we see in the Halo Infinite engine demo is Master Chief putting a chip into his head that looks like Cortana, right? It is a blue AI that he is putting into the back of his helmet. And so with 343 Industries going back to the roots of Halo, going back to even the classic armor, I wonder if they are also backpedaling on the Cortana situation with her being, in control of basically everything. And I really am curious to see how they will backpedal that, because they're basically knee-deep in this plot they set up for this crazy story to unfold, and I wonder, could they even pull that off in a way that it would look actually good as far as the transition goes between Halo 5 to Halo 6? Could they actually pull that off in a way that looks alright to somebody playing through all the Halo games, that doesn't look and feel too jarring to us even? Anyway, this ring was known as Zeta Halo, right? And there is actually a lot unknown about this place so far. So we'll just skip to the most intriguing information about this ring, and that is that the majority of the flood specimen were kept here, but also 10 inactive proto-grave mines and even infected foreigners processed by the composer remained on Installation 07. And also Mendicant Bias's most primary piece was placed and housed in a massive facility deep beneath Installation's 07's surface, accessible only through anti-gravity lifts. Mendicant Bias was based in a mobile structure featuring core crystals and a large green eye moving on legs of hard light. Now that would be very cool to see Mendicant Bias finally, to see this ancient AI that has been basically teased ever since Halo 2, that may have basically been manipulating Master Chief's entire journey and may have caused the reclamation itself. But if you want to hear more about that, then be sure to look up Mendicant Bias and HaloFollower on YouTube, and you'll surely see a lot of information about why I think that might be the case. But nonetheless, we might see Mendicant Bias speaking to John through terminals at the very least once again, as he did on the Ark in Halo 3. So the most interesting thing about Zeta Halo, in my opinion, is the human settlements, right? Yeah, ancient humans used to live on Zeta Halo, right? And may still live there. So we'll get into that. The home villages of Venera and Game Par were near the ring's edge walls, right? There was a collection of huts on a flat plain of dry grass, and they even built cities at one point. Not like cities in, modern society, but, cities and that, what ancient people could call cities. The humans left the settlement eventually and the cities after the foreigners began to adopt humans for their experiments. What for? Well, mainly for the foreigners' vain effort to seek out a cure to the flood by extracting ancestral memory imprints from humans who carried this special guias that were placed by a librarian. Although many biological specimens, including humans, were relocated to the Ark at one point in Halo lore, I wonder, could there still be ancestors of these ancient humans to be found on this ring in Halo Infinite? I mean, how cool would that be in the campaign, actually approaching a couple feral humans, or a couple tribal, or maybe genetically altered, or very intelligent humans, and maybe that could be a part of the story in Halo Infinite, right? I mean, that's just something we haven't really seen before, and I think that would be very interesting and kind of humbling to see everything tied together, especially with the Master Chief on Halo once again. Now, if there is wildlife such as special elk or those rhino-like creatures, which were really just the highlight of the engine demo, then isn't it possible that some humans could still be on this ring, right? As it was said in the lore that many humans left their cities and villages on the ring out of fear that the humans would be taken by the foreigners, and they escaped into the wilderness, into the tree line, into the pine woods that we see. It would appear so, right? And perhaps this is what this text is pointing to, and I want to get to this now. The fact that 343 Industries has built an engine so that this text could look so clean into the walls and showcase this into their demo, I think that suggests that we may be seeing ancient humans, or at least their ancestors, to some extent, and at the very least, we can see the ruins which we've already seen in the Halo Infinite trailer. There are some ruins which were kind of unexplained in my mind anyway until now. Those are obviously ancient human structures, right? And I think that is very important to what may happen and unfold onto Zeta Halo, because they already had a pretty big highlight, and that was sort of like the big open shot with the Marines opening on this big beautiful lake and the mountains and stuff. That I think that shows that they are, coming into this beautiful world with ancient humans, perhaps, right? Or at least discovering what once was. And I think that is pretty damn relevant. Now, many of us presumed that Installation 07 had an uninhabitable atmosphere, right? A big desert, a big open place just completely ravaged and destroyed by the flood, right? But this turned out not to be true, alright? So at one point around 97, 495 BCE, maybe a little bit after, Mendicant Bias had been subverted by the Primordial, and Bias broke the safeguards into the ring's flood containment facilities and released the parasite to spread all over the ring. The flood ate away at the landscape, and basically polluted the entire ring with this toxic flood biomass. Now, it turns out that the hologram that we've seen, the texture we've seen of this ring, is that actually it was out of date. From what we saw in the Citadel, it just was not up to date, and that the ring's automated systems had since been able to manage and restore the ring's Earth-like ecosystem that the flood had once destroyed. Now, Zeta Halo has tons of important locations, which we will undoubtedly dive into more later here on the channel, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. But the most interesting piece here, as far as locations go, is the flood research facilities, or also known to the humans as the Palace of Pain, and I wonder if we'll actually visit the Palace of Pain. These facilities were the thousands of former Lifeworker biological stations converted into flood research stations by the Master Builder, and this is where the Primordial, while in charge, had crowds of humans made docile by controlling their Gias through beacons of sorts being put into War Sphinxes. Now, I would love to see a War Sphinx finally, because those things just look so cool and they've been teased for so long, and there's been so many concept arts of them, but we just haven't actually ever really seen them in Halo gameplay. So guys, let me know your thoughts about War Sphinxes, but also let me know your thoughts about everything we've discussed in this video. How do you feel about, Master Chief and others being on Installation 07? What do you think Cortana's role will be in the drama that will unfold in the next big game? And do you think we may see Prometheans once again? Or is 343's reapproach to classic Halo and making Halo Infinite more like Halo 1, 2, or 3 have no room for Prometheans? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think and have to say about all this. And of course, I will use it for a Halo Club in the future, so we have more stuff to discuss. So please give me your best theories, give me your wacky stuff. I love wacky stuff. Put on your tinfoil hats, guys. So anyways, guys, love you so much. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your time. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like it up, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.